Have you ever wondered why some people attract respect effortlessly, even without saying a word? The secret isn't in their appearance or words, but in a deeper internal power, the art of Stoic magnetism. Discover how mastering your emotions can make you irresistibly attractive, all without trying too hard. How to be attractive without trying hard. Effortless Stoic magnetism, compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lesson 1. Inner stillness radiates outer power. In every storm, there is always an unmoved center, a quiet eye where the chaos melts away into calm. The most powerful magnetism a person can possess is found there, hidden in the still waters of their own mind. Imagine a skilled archer who, despite the fevered energy of the crowd and the shifting winds, stands at the line, his pulse steady, his breath slow, a posture of poise born of inner stillness. His arrow soars true, not because he forces it, but because, at his core, he is unmoved. In the pursuit of emotional mastery and self-discipline, many are drawn to this image but find themselves far from its promise. How many of us step into daily life feeling quietly centered, undaunted by criticism, untouched by the ripple of other people's moods, resilient when things go sideways? The truth is, most people move through their days stirred by every small wave, reacting quickly to slights, hurt by challenges, and always striving to regain lost balance. There's a constant chatter running through the mind, a restless urge to reply, defend, or overthink each insult or setback. At work, you might notice your energy fades after confronting an impatient boss, your confidence shaken by someone's dismissive glare. You go home, rehashing old arguments in your head, wondering why you can't let them go. Out in the world, that inner noisiness makes it hard to feel present and clear-minded, leaving you pulled in a dozen directions at once, unable to project a sense of true power. Everyone wishes to feel in command, to move through life as steadfast as a mountain in a blowing storm. But in the end, so many give their emotional weather away to the world's demands. Yet there is a solution both ancient and deeply human: cultivating inner stillness. Born not of indifference, but of attention sharpened and tempers cooled, this is the silent fire within a disciplined soul, a cultivated sanctuary where emotion does not overrun intention. Instead of being driven by the wind, you become the calm sailor steering the ship, eyes ahead even when the seas rage. This stillness is not about denying feeling. Rather, it is a deliberate slowing down, a conscious channeling of your energy so that it builds beneath the surface, gathering force. In practice, cultivating inner stillness means finding, in the pauses between thoughts and the breaths between words, a sense of unshakable ground. When you train yourself to return to that center, even in small ways, you stop letting every passing emotion dictate your actions and begin to radiate an authority others can feel. That gentle, magnetic serenity is magnetic because it speaks of strength not easily provoked nor swayed. Embracing inner stillness as your daily discipline gives you a shield the world cannot easily penetrate. Once you develop an ability to watch your moods pass by, like leaves floating downstream, you recognize that you are not each passing feeling. Instead, you stand immovable, the solid bank from which they drift. Herein lies emotional mastery. It's not about stifling or rejecting your emotions, but acknowledging them, pausing, and choosing the wisest response. The legends of old, warriors meditating before dawn, philosophers pondering by candlelight, navigators trustful of the silent stars, knew that only an ordered mind could unlock undaunted influence and quiet command. When you tend this quiet fire, you command respect authentically, impact with presence alone, and move through your life undefeated by trivialities. By learning the craft of quietude, by practicing deliberate pauses, you invite your power to collect energy rather than expend it mindlessly. Each situation, each test becomes chance to return again to this deep well and respond always from clarity and vision. Over time, this becomes your silent signature strength. Adopt it, nurture it, and notice how challenges shrink and magnetic presence grows in the space created by quiet resolve. Begin each morning in silence, centering your mind with slow, attentive breaths, and practice pausing once daily before reacting to any situation. This habit rewires your responses, revealing strength beneath emotion's surface. With time, a calm, unfazed energy becomes your natural state. Reflect after tonight. How did stillness affect the smallest challenge? In our next lesson, discover how mastering emotional control attracts instinctive respect. Ready for more? Share your experience below and support our journey together. Lesson 2. Controlled emotions. Attract respect instinctively. There are moments in life when the world feels like a roaring tempest, tossing waves of frustration, envy, and anger against the walls of our being. Picture a lone lighthouse standing tall against the onslaught, its beam unwavering no matter how violently the storm surges. Such is the quietly commanding presence of someone who has mastered the art of emotional control. There is power in this steadiness, a tranquil force that others instinctively respect. In a chaotic world, we are naturally drawn to the calm, just as sailors navigate by the steadfast light of the lighthouse. Something inside us responds, sensing reliability and depth beneath the surface. But experiencing this serenity, or displaying it when tested, may not feel second nature. Think back to the last time your buttons were pressed at work or in your relationships. Perhaps you were criticized unfairly in a meeting, ignored by someone you care about, or put on the spot with an uncomfortable question. Perhaps your heart raced and your words sharpened, all while you struggled to keep irritation off your face. That internal battle is one everyone knows. The pulse-quickening desire to react, explain, or defend yourself the instant you're challenged. This is one of the greatest storms you'll ever navigate. The urge to spill your emotions raw and uncovered, as if self-expression equals strength. Yet, far more often, the unfiltered outpour betrays us, turning small issues into quarrels and fleeting anxieties into lasting doubts. It is, in fact, common to believe that gaining respect requires assertiveness and letting others know we won't be walked over. Sometimes, we raise our voices or signal our disapproval quickly, hoping to appear strong and unafraid. However, respect is rarely won this way. More often, people take measure of our self-regulation than our volume. Consider the leaders whom colleagues admire or the friend everyone turns to in a crisis. Not the loudest or most reactive, but the ones whose words carry extra weight because they are few and considered. The true impact, Stoic does not compete for attention, but commands it through composure and careful presence. Internally, though, most wrestle with emotions that flare suddenly. You might replay conversations well into the night, or rehearse imaginary arguments on your way to work, unsure how to shift from reacting to responding. Here, then, is a transformative shift available to all. Emotional control, which begins with the simple act of noticing before acting. Artful control means you become like the archer so deeply attuned to his breath that when he releases the string, the motion is effortless precision, rather than tense and rushed. This skill does not ask you to bottle up your feelings, but to hold them in your hands, observing them before choosing your next move. The method is ancient, trusted by Stoics and masters of every era. Watch your reaction rise, pause, and ask yourself what is truly needed. When you sense anger swelling, imagine letting the wave pass before you step forward, preserving your energy for action that matters most. By training your mind this way, you unlock an inner resilience. Your emotions lose their grip, and suddenly you become a person others instinctively look to. There is no need to explain, shout, or prove. Integrity grows, as does an air of unpredictability. People sense you won't be easily provoked. Trust flourishes because you remain unfazed when everything around you pulses with stress and noise. Over time, emotional control becomes not only your anchor, but the very source of respect you seek, felt silently and powerfully by those around you. This is mastery, won through pauses, reflections, and quietly courageous choices in the heat of your daily battles. As you continue to practice, the world notices, follows, and respects your example, and you move ever closer to becoming undefeatable in spirit. The next time a strong emotion rises, pause and count to 10 before responding. Do this 3 times today. Notice the relief and respect your calm self brings. Each effort plants confidence and acceptance, quietly shifting your influence. In the next lesson, unlock how silent confidence commands any room. Share your journey below so we can all grow together. Lesson 3. Silent confidence commands social gravity. In a crowded room, the attention of others is often carried on invisible threads, drawn not by loud declarations but by the silent force of presence. Imagine a mountain at sunrise, unmoving, dignified, its quiet strength commanding the respect of the sky and land alike. There are people who walk among us like this, steady, calm, radiating assurance without a single boastful word. Their energy collects the gaze of others. It enters a space long before their voice does. We feel it, and without knowing why, subtly adjust ourselves in their orbit. This is silent confidence, a rare and naturally magnetic quality that has shaped leaders, pioneers, and guardians throughout history. Yet, behind every show of bold confidence, many struggle with an uncertain, vulnerable inner voice. We've all felt it. A rising tide of anxiety before a presentation, the shiver of insecurity when walking into a room where everyone seems brighter or more connected. Perhaps you have found yourself over-explaining your achievements, raising your voice to hold attention, or shrinking back when silence fills the air. Often, we are taught that respect is earned by standing firm, being assertive, or speaking first. The truth is, those attempts sometimes betray the very thing we desire, to be seen as naturally powerful and influential. Instead, social anxiety and self-doubt creep in, and overcompensating shatters the calm that attracts, leaving us feeling like outsiders struggling to earn a seat at the table. These are common struggles, the feeling that you need to prove your worth, or that you must constantly be on to be noticed. It's easy to view silence as weakness, equating stillness with insecurity. The modern world is a storm of voices competing for recognition, prompting you to measure social success by the volume of your opinions or the quickness of your wit. Too often the quiet become overlooked, and yet there's a timeless secret. Those who can remain tranquil amidst noise often exude the deepest influence. The fear, then, is not only of being unseen, but also of being misunderstood, that your true value may remain hidden if you do not push to display it. Here lies a transformative solution, a return to ancient wisdom. Deliberately cultivating silent confidence. Silent confidence is not a mask or a trick. It is the embodiment of knowing your own value deeply, so much so that you do not need to announce it. The impact Stoic moves with assurance because their sense of worth radiates from within. This confidence is sculpted through small acts, a gentle half-smile, calm eye contact, measured gestures, and patient pauses that make space for others to come forward. When the silent Stoic enters a conversation, they listen intently. Their restraint becomes strength, each pause a quiet signal for others to pay attention. What happens when you choose silent confidence over performative bravado? You become the anchor in social storms, a steady reference around which others naturally gather. People are drawn to your quiet authority because it signals self-control and careful selection of words, ideas, and actions. Your presence takes on the gravity of a ship gliding smoothly through turbulent seas. You become hard to unnerve, unshakable even in moments of stress or social struggle. Silent confidence is ancient wisdom made modern, signaling, "I know who I am and do not require validation." This is not resignation, but the steady fire burning in those who have truly mastered themselves. It is possible for anyone, and with practice, it can transform you from feeling like an outsider into the centerpiece of gravity in your chosen worlds. When entering any room, breathe deeply, make calm eye contact, and listen fully before speaking. Practice this today and witness how others respond, drawn towards your steady presence. With repetition, your confidence will deepen and your social influence will grow. Next time, learn how purposeful presence shapes magnetic aura. Share below how silent confidence has shifted your interactions. Lesson 4. Purposeful presence shapes magnetic aura. Every moment can be a spotlight moment, a stage on which the world, whether silently or openly, feels your presence. Imagine stepping into a room and sensing a subtle shift in the air, not because of what you say or what you look like, but simply because you are wholly there. The purposeful presence that lingers like a warm light or crackling fire commands quiet attention, drawing people to it in a way that words can rarely achieve. There is a gravity to someone who is anchored in purpose, just as a tree, deeply rooted, becomes impossible to ignore when storms swirl and winds howl. Yet, attaining this kind of presence is no small feat in the noisy, impatient currents of daily life. The average person can feel themselves drifting through the day, as if adrift in a busy harbor, pulled by crosswinds of tasks, distractions, and other people's priorities. Whether in conversation or in a meeting, your thoughts might race ahead or wander elsewhere. Your body is there, but your mind is 1,000 miles away. We all recognize that uncomfortable, disconnected feeling when we remember only half of what someone said, or when a day passes in a blur. It's a predicament many quietly suffer. The dissatisfaction that comes after another evening where alliances are shallow, conversations superficial, and no one seems to notice your unique spark. Deep down, there is a longing to be felt, truly seen and remembered. A hope that our energy might glow brightly enough to draw others near and to influence events in small, meaningful ways. But when you are always busy, worried, or pinned to autopilot, your presence disperses like mist. There, but never tangible. There's frustration in knowing you have more to offer, yet watch opportunities slip by under the radar of others' attention. We become haunted by thoughts such as, if only I could be more present, more powerful in the moment. Perhaps I would create deeper bonds, command more trust, and confidently lead my own journey. This craving is universal. It is the inner battle between the wish to stand out and the weight of distraction or hesitation. Here emerges a powerful, transformative solution: cultivating purposeful presence. Purposeful presence means entering each interaction, each moment, with the quiet, burning intent of the silent Stoic. It is the ancient art of not just showing up physically, but engaging so deeply, like the archer who places every ounce of awareness into his posture, grip, and focus, that even your silence gains meaning. This skill is built by conscious practice, grounding yourself, listening fully, allowing pauses, and responding thoughtfully. When you command your attention, you command the energy you bring into an environment, and you project this magnetic aura using nothing but your calm intent. The benefits of mastering presence are profound. You unlock attentive, rewarding relationships. Your words find weight and your actions gather significance. Others sense, often instantly, that your attention is undivided and sincere. You become a reference point in other people's experiences, quietly memorable. People trust you because they feel truly considered in your company. With every deliberate glance, each careful movement, you radiate a silent clarity, a clear signal that you know why you have come and what you seek. This aura makes you attract opportunities and people without the need to announce yourself. Unlocking purposeful presence creates a kind of undefeatable momentum. Suddenly the world feels less overwhelming, fear settles, and your internal compass grows stronger. This wisdom, as old as the first guides and teachers, sharpens your awareness and helps you master your own energy while gently steering the emotions and attention of those around you. Today, give your full attention to just one conversation or task. Listen actively, pause, and notice every detail. Observe how your energy shifts and connections deepen. As presence strengthens, you will see people respond with openness and trust. In our next lesson, discover how non-reactivity signals elite self-control. Share your progress below, and let's keep growing stronger together. Lesson 5. Non-reactivity signals. Elite self-control. Imagine an immovable mountain standing firm against the pounding of relentless winds and battering rain. Far below, rivers rage and trees bend in the onslaught, but the mountain only watches. Ancient, silent, complete in its own resolve. This is the quiet power of non-reactivity, a discipline that makes you unshakable while storms swirl in the world around you. In the flow of daily life, this stillness sets you apart from the rest. Yet for most of us, staying serene under pressure feels nearly impossible. Deep inside, everyone knows the twisting feeling when an unexpected slight or provocation finds its mark. You might encounter a sharp word from a colleague, rude behavior from a stranger, or criticism that feels unfair. Almost automatically, anger or frustration bubbles up. Your jaw tightens, your pulse quickens, and your mind races through responses or imagined comebacks. It's the old dance. Another's negativity sets off a chain reaction, and before you know it, Your energy scatters, control slips away, and you have lost your footing in the chaos. This cycle is painfully familiar to many. Our days are filled with small, subtle triggers, a dismissive glance, an impatient comment, or the slow burn of annoyance in traffic. Yet the result is real. Reactivity drains your focus, clouds your decision-making, and over time makes you more vulnerable to the push and pull of other people's emotional storms. Perhaps you have felt your mood change just because someone else entered the room in a bad temper, or sensed yourself tensing at the first sign of disagreement. This reactivity creates an invisible leash, tying your inner weather to the unpredictability of the world outside. It erodes not only your sense of power, but also your ability to choose a wise response over a regretful reaction. The solution is profound, but accessible. Practice the art of non-reactivity. Non-reactivity does not mean ignoring the world or suppressing your emotions. Rather, it is the practice of pausing, observing, and choosing, instead of automatically responding. Imagine yourself as the ship's captain facing a sudden storm at sea. Instead of panic, you steady the wheel, listening to the rhythm of the waves until their pattern emerges. In those brief but deliberate moments of pause, you move from instinct to intention, from being emotionally captive to acting from a place of freedom and authority. Non-reactivity is the discipline of the silent Stoic, who, seeing insults and provocations, allows them to flow around him like water around stone. This discipline unlocks elite self-control. When you cultivate the ability to pause, no matter how briefly, you disrupt the automatic chain of reaction. In place of knee-jerk responses, there is space for clarity and wisdom. Suddenly, the sharp jabs and slights of daily life lose their sting, unable to disturb your deeper calm. The benefit ripples into every area. Your relationships become less volatile, your reputation grows, and your energy becomes reserved for meaningful battles. By modeling steadiness, you gain respect and even admiration, becoming the kind of person others seek out when situations demand calm leadership. Over time, your non-reactivity radiates a magnetic confidence, showing the world that you are guided not by outside turbulence, but by a core of undisturbed power. Non-reactivity is as old as the wisdom of the ancients, an internal shield honed through countless small decisions, gentle awareness, and practice. It reassures you that even when you cannot control others, you can always command yourself. This skill is the quiet mark of mastery, proof that you have learned to train your mind, master your emotion, and become undefeatable in the silent storms of every day. When faced with any trigger, pause and take 3 slow breaths before responding. Reflect on how this pause shifts your mood and control. Day by day, you'll find yourself calmer, more respected, and able to weather any storm. Next, discover how integrity builds your irresistible trust factor. Share your experiences and insights below as you keep growing with us. Lesson 6. Integrity builds irresistible trust factor. A single candle lighting up a cavern casts a warm, clear boundary against the shadows, its unwavering flame revealing the contours of the truth within the darkness. Such is the nature of integrity, an inner light that guides your words and actions along the path of trust and respect. Like the ancient archer drawing his bow, holding his body silent and steady, you become known for meeting the mark, regardless of how easy it would be to bend, stray, or hide behind a mask. There's something deeply magnetic about this steady presence, a rare ability to ground others simply by showing up authentically, unmoved by fear or the temptation to compromise what matters most. Yet for many people, maintaining integrity day after day is a test of genuine self-discipline and emotional mastery. Inside, we sometimes feel a ripple of doubt. Is it always worth standing firm in our principles, especially when the world rewards shortcuts and easy victories? Perhaps you've sensed the strain in a moment, when smooth words might have won praise faster, or when hiding a small mistake could have kept your reputation untarnished. You might recall situations, at work, in friendships, or even quietly with yourself, where the truth shakes in your chest, wrestling with your desire for acceptance or advancement. The fear is simple but profound, that if we reveal our true stance, hold to values, or confess a small wrong, we risk anger, exclusion, or personal loss. The world often seems convinced that vulnerability will only expose and damage us, rather than actually drawing respect. This conflict lives everywhere. Should you quietly go along with a convenient lie? Do you nod when a group opinion clashes with your own beliefs, just to avoid discomfort? The moments may seem minor, but the impact is lasting. Small betrayals, barely noticeable at the time, begin to stack up. With each compromise, your inner fire fades a little, and something in your posture softens, your gaze shifts, and your power to attract trust weakens. Soon, people may sense it. A promise goes unkept, an apology is never delivered, and the subtle yet unmistakable aura of dependability begins to erode. People may not point it out, but internally they step back, sensing an unknown crack in the ground they once counted upon. There is, however, a transformative solution, one tapped into by the wise and undefeated for centuries. It is to choose, again and again, to bring your actions and words into alignment despite the circumstances. Integrity is more than honesty. It means acting out your truth, even and especially when it's hard. This can look like gently admitting you've made an error, staying quiet when tempted to gossip, or standing firm in a value others challenge. Integrity is a commitment to the self, a relationship with your deepest values carried forward bravely through each challenge. The impact Stoic knows that discipline here is not cold rigidity, but the soft, consistent fire within, the same force that keeps the lighthouse steady through every storm. The core idea is simple, but practicing it makes you elite. Whenever you align your speech and actions to your truth, you inspire deep, instinctive trust in others. Every time you follow through on a promise, no matter how small, you train your mind to overcome fear and find strength in vulnerability. People around you may not remember every word you say, but they will remember how safe and steady they feel in your presence. As you make decisions anchored in integrity, you move through the world undefeated, unafraid to weather hardship, because you trust yourself first. The glow of integrity radiates outward, unlocking opportunities and unbreakable connections. Walking this path might sometimes feel lonely or difficult, but in every age, those who live by their values light the way for others, becoming a beacon not only of character, but of irresistible, silent power. Choose one promise or value to honor today, even if it means taking a harder path. Notice how inner peace and the respect of others grow with each authentic decision. Every act of integrity builds trust, both within and around you. Next, learn how detachment enhances charisma. Please share your reflections and fuel our growth in the comments below. Lesson 7. Detachment enhances effortless charisma. The archer, standing silently in the twilight, draws his bow. A deep breath. Loosening his grip, he allows the arrow to soar toward its target, trusting the skill nurtured through patience and endless repetition. The true secret in that moment isn't fierce willpower, but a gentle, practiced detachment, the art of aiming with intention and then letting go. The same is true for those among us who seem to possess effortless charisma. There is a poised, magnetic energy in those who have mastered the freedom of detachment, who move through life liberated from the invisible weight of needing constant approval or particular outcomes. This freedom, however, often feels out of reach. Many people move through the world feeling trapped by attachment to results, anxious before presentations, desperate for approval in conversations, or inwardly shaken when criticized or overlooked. Maybe you felt it yourself. Nerves twisting in your stomach when someone else gets praised for work you contributed to, or disappointment building when social gatherings don't unfold as you'd imagined. We learn from a young age to invest heavily in what others think of us, to measure our value by achievements, status, or being chosen. It quickly becomes an endless tug of war between your worth and the fickle opinions or changing events outside your control. Every day, attachments gnaw quietly at our confidence. Looped inside our heads are questions. Did I impress them? Why wasn't my effort recognized? Or, what if I fail and disappoint everyone? That tension shows in our words, our posture, and our presence. People can sense the desperate grasp for validation or the stifling fear of embarrassment. In moments where you long to shine, this invisible clutching dulls your aura, making authentic connection harder to attain. Instead of drawing others in with gravity and grace, you may find yourself anxiously performing, tightly wound and easily thrown by the tides of public reaction. Instead of unlocking the impact Stoic within, you feel you are at the mercy of what you cannot command. The transformative solution comes from embracing the wisdom of detachment. This does not mean indifference. The Stoic is not an island untouched by life. Rather, detachment is the energy that comes from aiming your effort fully, then releasing your grip on what comes next. It is standing in your truth while trusting outcomes to unfold as they will. The silent Stoic carries their own validation within, mastering their inner landscape so deeply that praise and blame have less power to sway their spirit. Cultivating detachment unlocks powerful benefits. It quiets inner anxiety, creating space for calm curiosity in any room or challenge. Paradoxically, when you no longer need to prove yourself or chase attention, others feel more drawn to your groundedness and self-sufficiency. You radiate undeniable charisma, grounded in something unchanging. The person who acts with purpose, unattached to external reward, becomes rare and trustworthy, a living example of freedom, attracting admiration and deepening connections. Detachment strengthens emotional control and liberates a new kind of attractiveness, allowing your true personality, humor, and strengths to float up without strain or perfectionism. By adopting even small acts of letting go, you train your mind to overcome fear, grow undefeated by setbacks, and step more fully into the magnetic energy of your highest self. This ancient wisdom lives every day in the way you speak, listen, aim for what matters, and ultimately, with gentle confidence, let go. The next time you seek approval or worry about outcomes, pause and remind yourself to focus only on your effort, then release the result. Notice the relief and authenticity that follow. Each day you practice detachment, your charisma will grow and your self-trust will deepen. Embrace this mindset now and watch your silent magnetism flourish from within. Thank you for joining this journey to unlock effortless Stoic magnetism. By embracing inner stillness, mastering emotional control, radiating silent confidence, shaping purposeful presence, practicing non-reactivity, living with integrity, and cultivating detachment, you move closer to real, lasting influence. If this message inspired you, please like, comment, and subscribe to support our channel.